So I don't usually make videos about the Hearthstone esports scene, but this is such big news and it's so demoralizing that I kind of have to make a video. A lot of competitive players are about to quit. A lot of content creators, especially those who have a competitive background, are voicing their opinion. And I want to do my part to try to change this scene as well, because the TLDR is the esports scene is mostly dead, especially when you talk about, is there going to be a future in 2024? They are just refusing to comment. When asked, does this mean Hearthstone is declining or failing? The success of Hearthstone esports is separate from the success of Hearthstone. Just a non-answer. And the reason why I'm saying it's dead is because the prize pool has been cut in half for Worlds, and the Masters Tours have zero prize pool. You could win the entire Masters Tour and get $0. There are going to be less events altogether. There are going to be less people participating. And the only way that you can join is through competitive points on ladder, which is extremely toxic. There used to also be competitive. This used to have some consideration, but there used to be qualifying tournaments as well. The fact that it's only based on ladder is extremely toxic for content creators and competitive players. I can talk from experience. There's a time when people said I wasn't high enough rank to make videos, so I focused hardcore on rank to get top 500 legend pretty consistently, and it ruined my relationship with the game. I didn't like the game very much. Every single game stressed me out. My content wasn't as good. People on stream noticed I was like noticeably less motivated to play the game. And I can only imagine what it's like for people who have to get to top 30 legend, let alone top 500. Because if you're any worse than top 30 legend, you will probably not qualify. All of this brings me to the point where I'm potentially going to put on a tournament of my own. It's something I've wanted to do for a really long time, and seeing the absolute abysmal state of this makes me think, I could make a tournament worth $20, and it would be more worth it for them to participate than it would be to participate in a Masters Tour, and it would not destroy your mental. Jokes aside, I think that it's something that I have been wanting to do for a long time, getting content creators together to do a tournament or cast a tournament with the absolute best of the best players. And because of how atrocious this is right now, I've never been more serious about doing an idea like this until right now. So if you guys are interested in that, I could start reaching out. I mean, I would probably need a sponsorship in order to make something like this work, but who knows? I don't know exactly the legalities of any of it either. I'll have to do some research, but just throwing that out there because this is super sad. I absolutely loved watching the competitive Hearthstone scene. I mean, I didn't watch it for a really long time, but eventually people convinced me that I should. And when I watched these high-level players play, I could noticeably feel myself getting better at the game. I'd be like, oh, this is a line that I would not have considered if I hadn't watched them play, and it's stuff that I've used in my games after watching them. Not to mention the fact that it's just fun watching high-level gameplay of any game. So I would love to see this be brought back or saved or salvaged in some way. Maybe bring in new casters, maybe have new events, do something. I don't know. But let's get in and finish off with some of the tweets here. Sad tweet from Brian Kibler. Pretty sad to see the state of affairs for competitive Hearthstone. Back to fighting for top 16 ladder finishes, which I thought we'd realize promoted a terrible relationship with the game, as I said before, just to qualify for a tournament with 0 prizes, except a chance in 8-player worlds. Basically summarized everything. Well said. Ties basically says the same thing, and it's a very sad state for competitive Hearthstone. Meaty came up with some solutions, so I guess we should finish off with some solutions here. And one is increasing the total number of people participating, and 2 is taking some of the prize pool from Worlds and adding them to the Masters Tour. So overall, the total is still going to be 500k, but at least if you put 100k here, here, and here, it feels like they're fighting for something during each of these Masters Tours, and it just doesn't feel as bad mentally for them. I would say just put 100k, 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 and then keep this at 500k, but again, maybe they're 100% set on this $500,000 total prize pool. And then last but not least, we have Regis, who usually has something positive to say about Hearthstone. He's usually the glass half full guy, and he just quotes, "Does this mean Hearthstone's declining or failing? The current scope of Hearthstone esports is separate from the success of Hearthstone." Nothing really positive to say about it. Overall, this announcement is super sad. It makes me really worry about the future of Hearthstone as a whole as well, because you don't need an esports scene for it to succeed, but it definitely does help to promote the game and have things within the game and to just build up hype, build up a sense of community. There's a storyline or storylines people can follow in order to you know, enjoy the game more. Like, again, I didn't like watching competitive before, but once I started, I was like, this is actually really fun, and I'm improving and watching people who are favored or not favored and trying to learn the format of everything. So overall, I really do wish the best for those who play this game professionally. I hope that this has changed the point where you can still play the game professionally and you no longer need to quit. And I'm going to leave a link to this down below so you guys can read this whole article yourself and get the full picture as opposed to the kind of summary that I just did. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.